Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Michael, aka Rickshaw, and you're Nerd Out with Rickshaw. And you're also Nerd Out with.
Hey guys, I'm Fuzz.
And I am Toby Von Doom, the producer.
Yes, and we are here today in cyberspace with this wacky neon background dancing around. It's gonna make me sick if I keep looking at it. But
I'm dizzy.
But yeah, we're just going to talk about some shows that we've all been going to. Me and Fuzz over here spent the weekend in Vegas with a lot of our friends and our old ladies. And then I know Toby went to some shows.
Yep.
This weekend too. But before we get going, let's do the thing and stuff. We have merch. That is the first thing we need to talk about. Go down to the description down below if you like the show and you want to support us. Buy some of those shirts. There's also shirts that have some of our quotes on it. Some of our famous quotes. Like one from me. I said I play the fart in Sleep Token, and that's on a shirt now. And then Fuzz said "fuck Kid Rock" a bunch of times, and that's on a shirt too.
Frisky Grandpa, baby.
Grandpa's feeling frisky. Also, if you are a frisky grandpa and you can't hear that well nowadays and you need a pair of quality headphones, then you should go down to the description and click the link. If you do that, it will give you several options for Sennheiser headphones. And if you decide to purchase a pair of those, you could use the discount code 10nerdingout and you will get 10% off. Thank you for watching Nerding Out, and thank you for listening to Sennheiser headphones. But yes, it's fucking show season, man. There's been so many damn shows coming around. Every time a new show pops up too, it usually is on a day where I'm either going to another show or I know I cannot get off of work. So that's always fun.
They've been announcing shows left and right here.
That's what I was fixing to say. Mike, I think Jabe and I, Toby, you're welcome to come. I think we're going to come down to that He Is Legend Greyhaven show that Saturday.
Thursday?
Yeah.
Oh.
No.
The one on
Greyhaven, He Is Legend, and what's that?
Maylene.
Maylene, yeah. I don't care about
that. But here's the thing.
Stuff is awesome.
That day is the day that me and Jenna are flying to France. So
that sounds like a you problem, dog.
Yeah. But the night before in San Antonio on that Friday, it's Thursday.
He Is Legend.
He Is Legend Greyhaven.
Yeah.
And that sounds really cool. And I want to go to that, but at the same time, whenever you're flying out to go to Europe the next day, it just seems like a bad idea. It almost seems like I would go to that show and then the whole time I'd be stressed out because I'd be
miserable,
like, oh shit.
Because you know how miserable the next day is going to be.
Well, I'd also be like, did I pack everything? Did I get everything going? Oh, I still need to get this. Oh, I still need to get that. And, I don't know if I should even do it. But Thursday, He Is Legend and Greyhaven. Sounds
solid.
So awesome.
That's such a solid lineup,
dude.
Yeah.
And they're I think Greyhaven and He Is Legend are playing South by So What right after that. And that's that same weekend. Because I was excited because I was like, oh, maybe it's coming. That little tour is coming through Dallas, and then I realized, oh, that's South by So What, and I do not want to go to South by So What this year.
All right, Toby, I'm going to tell you, you're going to get killed for saying South by So What. It's just So What now.
Oh, is it So What?
Yeah, you can't say that anymore. People get mad.
I'm out of the loop on it.
I only found out because I saw some people jump on people on Twitter.
Really?
Like, it's not South by So What anymore. It's So What. Like,
is it
okay?
Is it because illegal? Is it because of legal stuff?
I don't know. Who cares? It's South by So What.
Yeah.
But I agree. I looked at that tour flyer and was like, "Oh, please be coming through Dallas," and I was like,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, it's fun to go to So What. I get to see a bunch of homies, but like,
it's just too much. I want the small venue. I want to be inside. I don't want to stand outside. I work outside. I don't want to be outside all fucking day. So
yeah,
I work inside and don't want to be outside all day.
Speaking of shows that are a little too much, me and Fuzz were in Vegas this weekend. Whenever this show was announced, my wife pretty much was just like, "Hey, I talked to your friends; they want to go, and it's around your 40th birthday." So she bought tickets, and then after that, I found out who all wanted to go to the show. But we went to Sick New World in Vegas, and it was awesome. But it was a lot of work. A lot of work.
So I think I'm going to go ahead and start off because I'm torn. How much I love the lineup. It was so sick.
Yeah.
But it was way bigger than when we were young. I don't know how many people were there. It seemed like there was 80,000 people there. Like, no joke. It was packed. So it made it miserable and no fun.
Oh no! Don't tell me that. That breaks my heart for you guys.
No, well, dude, we had to leave early. My wife passed out during Incubus, so we ended up leaving because she couldn't even like stand, and so we ended up leaving.
Well, she was hydrating all day too. She
all
was
day.
Like,
she didn't have a beer or nothing.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. And but me, frisky grandpa, I started having beers as soon as I got there at like 12:31. I probably had like, but before Incubus, I probably had like 4 tall boys, maybe 5, and I would chug down some water like every now and then because I would just order a Liquid Death with one of my beers, but. For having like 5 tall boys before 7 or whatever, I don't think I remember peeing until after that. So
impressive.
Oh, dude, my wife didn't piss at all for 8 hours that we were there.
Wow.
Yeah, but it was cool. It was very cool. It's just a lot of work to try and navigate a festival like that. The side stages, so they had the stages grouped in 2s, right? So the main stage is like both main stages next to each other and like a huge area where that is. And then on the other side of the fairgrounds was the 2 smaller stages.
Other side, it wasn't just the other side. It was a half a mile walk to the other side.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But I would say that like the small stages, the 2 of them, kind of like they were kind of back to back, so they wouldn't, the noise wouldn't interfere during either or set. But we're used to that side stage. Like those side stages are like the bigger shows we would go to. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so whenever we would go to the main stage, like especially like Incubus and on for the rest of the night, it was just too big, dude. It was like. Julio, my friend Julio was in town. Shout out Julio, but he wanted to go close for Deftones, and by the time that I was like 3 or 4 songs into Deftones, I was like, I just cannot deal with people touching me and shoving through, and like not even being able to hear the band because everyone around me is like screaming the lyrics, and I was like, dude, let me out of here. So. And it's one of those things where, like, at a normal, festival that we have grown accustomed to, it's like, okay, time to escape out of here. Excuse me. And then you're usually out.
Yep.
But at this festival, it was so big that it was like, excuse me. And then, like, 5 minutes later, going to the back of the of the area where the main stage is
200 yards away.
You're still being like, excuse me.
Yeah. Fuck.
So we were. What would you say? We were in the middle for Incubus, right? Like you guys were pretty close.
Yeah.
Allie and I went to the back to go get some food, and then came back, and we were about in the middle. Allie and I were. And when she was like, hey, I don't feel good, she fainted, blah, blah, blah. We did that twice. When she was finally able to walk, we were like, okay, let's get the hell out of here. I'm not joking when I say we walked almost 100 yards to get out of people.
Mm-hmm.
That's how many people were behind us. That's not even including the 100 yards in front of us.
Right.
Dude, I could see the stage because I'm tall. My wife could not see the stage at all. Because there were so many people. I think it was, this is going to sound bad, and I might get killed for it. I think it was very unorganized. I don't like how the stages were set up. I don't like how there was. I think they oversold the show. Personally, I don't know. There was that was too many people. There was not that many people when we were young. I don't care what anybody says. I had friends there. Even Julio was like, wasn't when we were young. There was hardly anything close to what there was for Sick New World.
So, yeah. So, but for what it was sick. I got to. First of all, it's Vegas, so we tried to make it by 11:50 for Alien Ant Farm. That wasn't happening because we tried.
Can I tell that?
Can I
tell
go
that real quick?
Yeah,
I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
So, all right. So, first off, they said, "Okay, guys, buy your tram ticket. Tram's going to leave out from y'all's hotel. You're going to take it to the Sahara, and it's at the Sahara Fairgrounds over there. Circuit by Circus. Okay. But we go down early. It was a disaster at the tram. There was no room. And then when the trams would pull up, they were so full you couldn't even get on them. So I said, "F this! I'm going to get an Uber. I don't fucking care. I'm going to get Uber."
The thing about it was like the 2 stops. I think there was only 2 stops before our hotel, but those are also at hotels. So it's
Sick
like
New World.
Yeah.
Were packages
So
for
yeah.
Sick New World.
So we waited for 2 different trams, and they were already filled with people as soon as they got to our area. So there's a couple of trams that were like, "Everyone, please, single file, get on the train." It's like, no, there's no room. So
I said, "Fuck it, I'm going to get an Uber," and then everybody else finally agreed and came with me and got an Uber. And we get there, and we're like, "Oh, okay, you can hear Alien Ant Farm, all right." We come walking out of the front of the Sahara. We can see the fucking stages, dude. We have to walk 3/4 of a fucking mile to get to the front gate, just to walk back 3/4 of a fucking mile to get back to those fucking stages.
Shit!
And I'm not kidding. I know how far it fucking was. It was miserable, and fuck that shit. If they're gonna tell you to go to Sahara and go in right there should be an entrance by that stage, not a fucking 3-mile walk just to get back to the stage. So that already, I was like, yeah, I'm fucking out. I don't even want to be here anymore. That was horrible.
Y'all got there faster than us because we ended up getting one of the slowest Uber drivers ever he wouldn't improvise and try and get into a lane that was going faster than the other. He would just stay in the slow lane the whole time. We left at around 11, right?
Yeah, it was
something like that.
10:45, 11 when we got to the tram.
So by the time we were even being dropped off, it was already 12:30. So I was hoping to see Orgy at 12:30. We were still outside at 12:30. So I was like, "Oh my god!"
I walked up as Orgy was starting because it took us that long to get. Because I wanted to go see POD, and I was going to try to make it to POD, Alien Ant Farm, and Orgy. All get a couple songs in. I watched a couple songs of Orgy and was like, okay, yeah, there's a reason they're not relevant anymore. So I went and watched fucking POD. I went and watched POD finish because it was a way better set than Orgy, which I love Orgy, but just hang it up, man. Just be done with it. That's all I'm going to say. But all that bullshit aside, I'm going to shout out Coal Chamber because that was sick.
Mm-hmm.
It was amazing. Honestly, that was the band that I really enjoyed the most out of everybody that I got to see because the stage wasn't as packed, but they crushed it. Coal Chamber was so bad.
Yeah. I managed to catch... Okay, so I caught the end of Soulfly. They were pretty dope. We caught a little bit of Flyleaf.
Nah, she sounded so bad, dude.
Really?
She kind of did sound bad, but what else? Evanescence?
Well, no,
or was that later?
No, that was a little later. Yeah, that was right before Incubus. Was that?
Okay, got you. So yeah, then we went to Coal Chamber, and then Kitty, and then Seven Dust,
and then we went over to watch Evanescence, and then Turnstile played after Evanescence.
Yeah.
And then,
Honestly, I think that so the three best bands of the whole day to me were Cold Chamber,
yes,
Turnstile,
yes,
and Deftones.
yes. I didn't get to see Deftones, but I agree.
Yeah, they sounded amazing. But yeah, and then after you said Evanescence, right? Incubus, Deftones, Korn, System of a Down.
System of a Down. And so I'm going to say this too. I am not an Evanescence fan. Mm-hmm. For Amy Lee, them being on a hiatus, or whatever they were, her to come out and just absolutely crush it, it was cool to fucking see, man. She has an incredible voice. I've never liked them. I have a whole new respect for Evanescence now because of that show. 100%.
I think I saw Evanescence with Korn, and that's how I felt. I was like,
I was at Family Values 2001. You're welcome. I was there too.
Oh no,
this was a recent.
Yeah, this was recent.
There was like It was last year, I think.
Yeah, last
right?
year.
Yeah.
And and I was sitting there kind of poo-poo facing, being like, Evanescence. And then they played, and I was like, I don't know. That was actually a pretty goddamn good set.
Right.
So I was like, I don't hate it. And I knew more songs than I realized. I was like, how do I know all these? I never listened to an album.
Dude, it was she was great.
Yeah.
Amy Lee killed it, man.
It's crazy to think about bands like that because whenever you're growing up, you're like, they only have that one good song, and then you see them play, and you're like, oh man, there's like at least 5 songs that I thought were this one song.
Well, I forgot about that. That's a good song too. That happened with I watched Red Jumpsuit Apparatus a couple of years ago.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, yeah, they got a and Hoobastank. I was poo-poo facing Hoobastank, and I was sitting there and I was like, all right, Hoobastank is actually pretty cool. What am I saying?
Dude,
Hoobastank was there, right?
I wanted to see him, but I wasn't going to walk a mile back to the small stages. So
yeah.
No, man. It was a great show. Honest to God, Cold Chamber was just as sick as they were back. All the videos I've watched from the late 90s and early 2000s.
Oh, yeah.
They were dope. They were dope. It was
I'm
awesome.
jealous.
Yeah, dude, I was into it.
Can we talk about Can we talk about Kitty? Can we talk about that?
I mean, I thought Kitty sounded good, but I've seen them like some of their stuff since they've been back together, and she doesn't scream like she was recorded on those first couple of records. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She does like a death metal kind of growl now. So
it's good, but it's not the Kitty. I mean,
right.
When they played a couple of their bangers, it was like me and you were mouthing the music and pissing everybody off. We thought it was fucking awesome, but I mean, it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. But a lot of these guys are older now, so like I have to take that into consideration. But like it wasn't best. Did you hear what happened during Seven Dust, Mike?
No. Oh,
Sound
wait.
cut off.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'd be pissed.
Dude, Tim was telling me about it because we didn't really get to hang out much, but I got to see him twice.
Uh-huh.
And Tim was like, dude, Seven Dust sound cut out. And I was like, I'm glad I wasn't there for that because I would have been mad. Like, we were going over to see. We went to go watching Turnstile. So I was like, we watched 2 songs from Seven Dust, which they were sick. And I also tried to find the Korn tie-dye shirt, and they don't have it on their website, and it makes me very upset.
Dude, the line for merch,
oh my God.
It was insane, dude. Like,
I bet it was.
Like, dude, it was like, wow,
really
who would wait? Who would wait for this? Like, I feel like, Star Wars Episode 1 was coming out or something. That's what the line looked like.
Oh, really,
people were camped out.
It was so bad. Like, and they wouldn't move. You would go get a beer, get some food, go piss, go do whatever. Go wait in a 30-minute line to fill up your water, and those people would still be in the same spot when you got finished. Like, it was not moving. Cool. But we were going to get merch, and we looked at the line. We're like, nah, we're cool. We can buy it online.
I'll order it online.
But yeah, that's dude, I love like seeing a sick lineup, but I don't know if I'll ever go to a festival like that ever again because it was so much work. So, and then it's funny that Jenna, as soon as we got home, is like, "Want to go to ACL?" And I'm like, "No,
No.
no, I can't do that."
No,
Yeah,
that's a
Yeah.
hard fucking no.
Yeah. I think the day she wants to go, it's like Kendrick Lamar, Mars Volta, and Portugal the Man. And I was like, I would love to see those three people in particular, but I don't know if it's worth going out in the sun and fighting the crowd right after we just got done doing that.
Drive-in or bus, dog. At the drive-in or bus. Fuck the Mars Volta.
But
You
yeah,
heard it here.
yeah, fuck Mars Volta. That's our next shirt. Even though I'm into him.
Oh, me too.
I'm
But
into the old stuff. I'm into the old stuff.
Dude, I mean, I like it all, but I mean, I love At the Drive-In. Come on,
Oh
man.
yeah,
At the Drive-In
for
is
sure.
fucking sick. I want to hear it. Whatever.
So what shows did you go to besides the Cursive one, Toby? Didn't you go with Juan to a show?
Yeah, me and Juan hooked me up with a ticket to see Whitechapel. And then I had to look up the lineup because I forgot who was on it. Signs of the Swarm, which they were fucking sick. How do you say Archspire? Do you remember?
Archspire, yeah.
Yeah, dude, they were fucking awesome. They brought a Twister game. And they threw the mat, and they were like, well, first off, they split open the pit. They were like, all right, open this pit up. We want you wall to wall. And everyone's thinking like, oh, wall of death. Anyways, they throw the Twister board on the ground, and they're like, all right, we need 2 people to play. And 2 people were sitting there, and they're spinning the thing. And they do like 3 or 4, right hand red, left foot blue. And then he goes, oh, shit. And he spun it around and it said, it looks like it landed on Wall of Death. And then they just started playing. It was so good. It was so
Dude,
good.
That's awesome.
It was
that
so
is
good.
So awesome.
Nice. And
Nice.
then what's your friend's band? Entheos?
Entheos.
I can't say
Entheos,
it.
yeah.
We got there and we got to see the last song because we were running a little late. So we didn't get to see their full set.
So Juan was running a little late. You can say it. Juan was running.
I was running late originally, but then the fully running late was Juan's fault.
It's what Juan is the worst when it comes to time.
Yeah.
He is terrible at it. So don't ever go anywhere with him. Drive by yourself. Don't ever go with him.
You just gotta, when you're planning anything with one, you gotta say, hey, smoke before I get there, dude.
True. No, you do.
I mean, that's what happened. But yeah, that show was sick.
But was Whitechapel, are they still up there? They still good? Or is it kind of like...
No, it was good. Everything was good. They were solid. Yeah, it was good. The venue was weird. I can't remember.
Granada sucks, dude. Granada.
Yes.
Granada sucks.
It's got like barriers, and so
Fuck
like
Granada, dude. I hate that place.
and like we first got there, we were trying to get into the crowd, and immediately someone came running up and they were like, "Get out of the aisle! Get out of the aisle!" and like flashing lights at us, and we're like, "All right, fuck, we'll get out of the aisle."
Isn't Granada the one with all the drama that just happened?
No,
recently?
No.
Ridgely.
Ridgely.
Oh,
Can we
Ridgely.
Can we save that for the 25th, please?
Yeah,
'Cause
we need to save.
I'm burying that stupid fucking venue on the live show.
You heard it. May 25th, we're doing a live show, and we're going to talk about the Ridgely in
Ridgely Theater. Eat shit, Ridgely Theater.
And then a couple of days later, I went and saw Cursive, and I don't remember what that opening band was called, but Cursive was. They played it's an emo band. It's one of my emo bands.
I was gonna say, I didn't know they were still a band. To be honest.
Yeah, they actually had a lot of releases. I feel like a bad Cursive fan because I kind of fell off, and I didn't realize like 2 or 3 of the releases, and I was like listening to them before we went. But they played the entire Domestica album.
Oh,
and
nice.
It was fucking awesome. And like it was a tiny venue. I can't remember what it was called, the Keller or something like that. It was a cool venue, but it was tiny. It was great. I had a great time. Just a bunch of elder emos as it's
emo.
I mean, everyone there, you looked around and you're like, yep, every one of them. No mistake for it.
every show we go to now, that's the show. Like, even if it's a younger band, it's mostly the older fucking scene kids that are into that band that's big right now. So
yeah.
Well, even at Sick New World, Jenna's like, "How many elder emos are we gonna see?" And I was like, "No. This is different. This is different. This is, I was like, this is new metal. This is, old dudes that still are trying to have dreadlocks, but they're balding, so they have like two dreadlocks, and they have like 7 earrings in one ear.
It's strapping young lad.
Yeah,
Bro,
they have like skullets.
There were people in full goth, like not just like, oh, there's one in makeup. I'm talking top hats and fucking trench coats. It's 100 degrees in Vegas, dude. And they're fucking all out goth. And it was like, these are my people. I appreciate being here. This is wonderful. These are my people.
You feel at home.
Well,
you feel at home a little bit.
I did, man.
Didn't we see someone in a jumpsuit too, like a
when we were getting on the tram, they were in a Slipknot jumpsuit, dressed like Joey Jordan. We weren't even at the show, and there was a dude in a fucking Slipknot jumpsuit. Like, that's awesome. These are my people.
Even at our hotels, we could just tell who all the people going to the show were. So yeah.
No, so Sunday we were making the joke. It was like all these people were wearing their Sick New World merch, and it was like, you don't need to wear it for us to know you went to the show. I promise you, we know you went to that show.
Well, and it's we were also talking about the different degrees of people that we saw at that show, because it's like you could tell that, some of those like full goth people or people with like eyebrow rings and stuff, those are the people that loved nu metal and never listened to anything else, never changed, never heard anything new, and then when it comes to like dudes wearing hats and khaki shorts with some Nikes, you know what I mean, like with pocket logos, I was like yeah, I was like, these are the guys that loved nu metal, eventually moved on to like metalcore and all that other stuff, eventually were in their own bands, and then at this point in time they're like, well shit, I gotta go see all the bands that inspired me to do all the stuff I've done. So, and then there's probably I guess I still listen to like even the newest bands that just came out, you know what I mean? So I don't know. But I'm still in that death metal dad look.
That was the phrase of the weekend, was death metal dad. That's my style. Is death metal dad.
Yeah. But I think
do we need to make death metal dad shirts?
I think we should make death metal dad shirts.
I like this.
Can. Yeah. I actually so I was listening to a Chris D'Elia podcast, and he goes, man, I don't really like the term dad bod, right? He's like, first of all, you have to have a kid if you're going to be referred to as dad bod. And he said, what I like? I like guy bod, He's like, just a guy, whenever somebody says just a guy, you picture a fucking guy who's kind of fat, kind of lazy, like, hey, guy bod. And I was like, yeah. So it could be, death metal dad, death metal guy. Well, that doesn't work.
Yeah,
that doesn't work.
No, but it does. Death metal guy. I mean, that makes sense. I mean,
yeah, it does.
Yeah, right.
Like I am that guy. I wear khaki shorts, and I mean, I just recently got my daughter a Terror shirt so we could wear matching Terror shirts.
That's incredible.
Nice.
I love it.
Which also goes back to my point. Fuck Ridgely Theater. Terror's the greatest hardcore band ever. But I mean, it just is what it is. I have a uniform. I'm that hardcore kid that wears khaki shorts. But I did wear khaki dickies when I was a nu metal kid. So I really didn't change much. They just got shorter. They're not as baggy.
Yeah.
I think I got shorter.
That's the only difference.
I don't think I would leave the house when I was a nu metal kid unless I was wearing Jinkos. Like I don't think I wore shorts at that time.
I was Dickies. I wore Dickies. Nothing but
okay.
Dickies.
Oh yeah, I got you. Yeah.
And tracksuits, obviously tracksuits.
Oh, Jonathan was wearing the purple Adidas tracksuit.
See the article? I think that purple tracksuit. I think the reason they had all those on is because of their collab with Adidas. That's why I think they had it on, because it's about to come out very soon.
Yep. But yeah, that's
I'm so excited.
That was super iconic. Super iconic. Who do you think the most iconic band at that festival was?
System of a Down. I mean, they haven't done anything lately, and so like, I think they were everybody's top priority. Because I mean, that's John. He'll tell you that's the only reason he went.
Well, we still ended up leaving after like 3 songs because we wanted to fight the rush out of there. So, but they were some good ones.
I'd say the Deftones. Deftones were, or Evanescence. Sadly, those are the 2 most iconic.
I think because of the Adidas, because even Head was wearing Adidas too, and Head usually doesn't wear Adidas, right?
There's Dickies or like skinny jeans or something. Yeah.
Well, back in the day, he always wore those like button-up cholo looking,
the
shirts,
dog.
Yeah,
the Dickie
like
shirts.
The gas station.
Every so often he would wear like an Adidas jacket or something, but other than that, he never really wore the tracksuits. That was mostly Phil Dog and
Jonathan.
Jonathan.
You for real, Phil D?
Is dope as shit.
You for real, Phil D?
I love that I have one person that will quote that movie with me, and I appreciate you so much because of that. It's not even funny. Me too, for real, Phil D.
Who did now? Who did now? Too, bitch.
Bitch. Anyway, I'd say Deftones were the most iconic band there, personally.
I mean, they're still the most relevant, honestly. So
I was explaining to Julio, not to drag on, I was explaining to Julio why Deftones stopped touring with all of them. They did an interview about it, and he was like, Chino was like, we were sick of being put with the same bands all the time, the same new metal bands, and we were sick of it. So that's why we split off and did our own thing, because it's like we didn't hate them. It's just we were tired of getting pigeonholed into that new metal sound. And he's like, that's not what we were. And it's really true.
I definitely think that's what has to do with them, still being relevant too, is because they left that scene pretty early. I'd say like White Pony, they were done doing those new metal tours. They were already trying to find something else.
It makes sense because a lot of the bands that are like still touring together, that's what they did. They all just kind of like, all right, well, it's the same like 4 or 5 people just.
Dude, man, I saw the same 5 or 6 bands, for like seriously 6 years.
Yeah.
It was always Korn headlining, Seven Dust, Skindred, Trust Company. You know what I mean? Like it was always the same 6 or 7 bands, Disturbed, touring together, and it was just like, this is cool.
I think there for a while it was like Linkin Park was a part of that crowd.
Yeah,
for a
they
while
were part
too.
of that crowd too. Yeah.
Yeah. Before they blew the fuck up, and then we couldn't afford tickets anymore.
I didn't need tickets because I knew their road manager, so I got hooked up. That's when I started getting guest listed.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, well, Mike Shinoda's my cousin.
Dude, that'd be tight.
Just kidding. He's half Asian. Isn't he half Asian? Half.
Dude, you're asking the wrong white guy. I don't know.
Yeah. They all look the same to y'all.
I was gonna tell Charlie's story online, but
we can tell that story
should we
because
talk about it.
Yeah, my brother. We're not gonna talk about his name or what he does or anything like that. But anyways, my brother came to the show. I think it was his first time ever going to like a new metal show with us. He'll randomly go to like shows here and there, but it's just to like hang out with us. Well,
not a festival. Like this is his first giant festival.
Oh.
Yeah, he literally said that this was the biggest show he's ever been to in his entire life, which fair enough. I mean, I've been to some shows that big, but like it was less annoying then, I guess, whenever I was younger. So,
right.
But
I mean, yeah. Anyway, go on.
But yeah, at one point, we went to a place to eat, and we had just got done going to the dispensary, and so I'm like, they gave some, I don't know, they gave some people a free chocolate bar, and then
Yes.
I was pretty much like, hey, do you want to try it? The girls have had a piece. Do you want a piece too? And he's like, yeah, sure, why not?
I'll do it.
Yeah, I'll do it. And then a couple hours later, he's like, oh my god, dude.
Hold on. No.
Yeah.
You skipped a part. Hold on.
Okay.
We're outside. so he eats this, and then he sees someone smoking their disposable vape. He's like, here, let me hit that. And the question was asked, are you sure you want to hit that? He goes, yeah, I am. Like, edible hasn't kicked in. He's like, yeah, I'm sure. Okay. Do you, Chuck? Cleaned out that buffet. So everybody thought we were good.
Yeah.
It wasn't good.
It was far from good.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. He could not. He started saying like things like, dude, what the hell did you give me, man?
Oh no.
He's like, I've never felt like
Never
this.
felt like this before.
Yeah. And then we were like telling stories, like trying to make each other laugh and stuff, and he goes, dude, I mean, like, there's times where I like thought I was high, but like I know I'm high because when y'all are telling some of these stories, I'm like seeing myself as a character in the story. And I'm like, yeah, man, that's what being high is like. Yeah.
So we Uber back to the hotel. I'll skip all the other stuff. But we Uber to the hotel. And Mike and Jenna go up to their room to grab something. And it's me, my wife, and his brother. I look at him and I was like, you okay, bud? He just looks at me, sweating bullets.
Dude,
He's
like this.
Sweating bullets. Eyes like he saw a ghost, and he just goes.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And so we were
then
like, all right.
Yeah. So the weird part is we were like, hey, we're gonna go to our room real fast, and we're like, you all right? And he's like, and we're like,
Can't
okay,
talk,
well,
dude. Can't
yes,
talk.
couldn't talk. And then so we're like, okay, well, we're going. We'll be right back. And then he chose to follow Fuzz to his room.
So he comes into our room. We're on the elevator, and I said, Chuck, you okay? He shakes his head. I said, you look pale, dude. Are you gonna throw up? And he goes. So he comes into my room and throws up in my toilet. He comes out and he goes, "You might want to call maintenance. Your toilet doesn't work." I didn't break it. He goes, "I didn't break it." That's what he said to me.
Yeah.
And-
So by then, by the time we met back up in the downstairs area, like the casino area, he was still just like ghost. That looked like he's seen a ghost, and I was like, do you want me to?
bullets.
I said, do you want me to call you an Uber? And then he just goes, and I was like, do you want me to go with you in the Uber? And he was like, and then when we pulled up, I was like, can you make it to your? Can you make it to your room? Do you want me to walk you to your room?
Oh
and he's like,
Dude, he couldn't
Yeah.
answer. He was so high. It
yeah,
was
yeah.
Wow.
But eventually, I delivered him to his room, and he was like, when is this gonna end? And I was like, just take a nap. Eat, if you feel like drinking water, drink a lot of water. Eat a bunch of food if you need to. Whatever, you'll be fine. He hit me up the next day, and he's like, okay, we're off. It's fine.
So we're all getting ready for the show, fixing to meet for the show. He texts the group text, and he just goes, "I just want you guys to know I was tripping balls last night."
Yeah, and
I was so high.
and the funny part is so I had a vape pen at the house, and I can't remember what I did. Oh, I hit it while I was going to the, like, I hit it and then I put it down and I left to go to the gym. When I got back from the gym, this was like yesterday. When I got back from the gym, I see it on the floor and I see that it's been chewed on. And I'm like, oh no. And so I go to my dog, Winnie, and I'm like, Winnie, are you eating this? And she was like, it was way different than normal. She was like, oh. And I was like, okay, wait a minute. Like, you're like way more scared than normal. So I was like, okay, I'll back off. But then anytime I would like come up to her, she'd be like, and then I let them out. And she's always the first to come. She's always the first to come back to the door when I open the door. I open the door up after they've been outside for a little bit, and I just see her peeking out of the grass. She's like, and I'm like, Winnie, you want to come in? And she's like,
doing the same thing as your brother?
Yeah. And I literally had to go get her. I had to scoop her up out of the grass, and then even when I was carrying her, she was like, oh. And then I put her down for a second, and she was like, when she would walk, she'd be like, I was like, oh my God. So then we just sat with her while she napped, and I swear she napped from like 6 p.m. until like I got up at 11 today, and she finally started like getting up and moving around. She was like, ooh, I could tell that she was still just like, whoa, everything's starting to be normal again.
It's not foggy
but yeah,
it's not
I
foggy.
took a picture of her, and I'll put it on the screen. But she gave me the look like my brother did whenever it's like oh no.
I'll never forget that. That was such a wonderful, wonderful experience.
Well, the next day I was like, come on, Charlie. And I was just kind of messing with him. And I was like, come on, man. Like, we've all been smoking since we were like in 8th grade. And we've been doing all these things. And all of us have tried edibles several times. And we've already figured out our threshold. And we still have our bad times on it or whatever. But, you know, you're like 30, or no, he's 46 at this point.
Yeah.
So I was like, grow up, Charlie. You need to have figured all this stuff out before. And he looked at me like he was just so mad at me, like.
That's awesome.
But yeah,
that was
funny.
Honestly the highlight of the trip. When he was in the lobby sweating so much. It was like, yeah, this dude needs to go back to his room. He's about to die. Like, for real about to die.
Yeah. It was a good time, though. I don't know if I'll, me and Fuzz went in like 2017 or 18? 2018? We went to Vegas to see Korn, and it was just a Korn show. They were playing the anniversary of Follow the Leader. And that was way more, even though I was younger at the time, that's way more our speed. Like, if we go to Vegas just for like one show, was there even a band that opened for them that was
with a regular bill of some sort?
Yeah, it was just
Korn.
them. It was just them.
Korn.
Hey, that's fine. I'd be cool with that show.
Yeah,
2 hours of Korn, and it was,
and that's incredible.
Until they played "Y'all Want a Single," but that's a whole nother podcast.
You said fuck this.
Yes. I said let's go get a beer. And we did.
It's song. Like the most anti-sellout but sellout song to ever be written.
Yeah.
It was terrible, but anyway.
But yeah, guys, do you guys like festivals? Let us know in the comments. What's the best festival you've ever been to? And also, if you're 35 and above, do you hate festivals as much as we do? Because I appreciate every moment of it, because I got my freaking money's worth. I stayed until System of a Down, even though my taint was screaming at me, but I made it because I'm doggone it. I'm getting the value out of those tickets.
Doggone it,
right, brother.
But yeah, let us know in the comments. Also, we do requests for reaction videos on Tuesday. We call it TRL, Tuesday Request Live. And if you want to request something
live,
for us,
it's not live.
It's not live. That's where we're different than any other TRL that's ever been out there. We don't know if there's one because we made it up ourselves or whatever. So. But hit us up at nerdingoutwithrickshaw@gmail.com if you have suggestions for anything for us to react to or news. Lots of news stuff that you've seen on our site also. Also, on May 25th, Thursday.
Yes.
Thursday. Yes, Thursday. At 8 p.m. Central Time, we're going to be doing a live show, and we want you to join us and come into the live chat and give us things to talk about. Talk shit about our funny faces. You could talk about my nose. It's fine. But yeah, we just want to have more. I almost said character interaction. We want to have more. Customer? No, not customer.
Viewer interactions.
Viewer interactions. There you go.
Thank you, Toby.
God, I've either been reading too many fictional things or at work too much because
you've eaten a vape pen.
Or you've eaten a vape pen. That's accurate.
But yeah, guys, just join us that day and bring your cards because we're gonna do some super chats. Y'all are gonna tip us. Hopefully.
We want that tip.
Yeah, give me that fat, juicy tip. But I'll see you guys later. And we'll see you later. See you later, nerds.
Fuck you too, Kid Rock.